Question everything. So yeah, are you mad yet, white folks? Because we've been mad for a long time dealing with this United States government and its system itself, you know, and it's just the reality to it. We talk about a lot of things when it comes to our plight here in America as the Aboriginal Negroes of America, especially now that we're getting all the information based off of what's going on with our history and who we are, being a real, true Indians of America, as we would say. But with that, enough of all the smokes and mirrors of the real realities of what's happening with the Aboriginal Negroes. What is happening with the United States? What is happening with the actual government when it comes to this wars, where they always have money for the wars, but don't never have money for the American citizens? Where they can take your tax dollars all the time and utilize them for other countries, but never for United States citizens here in America. They don't never got money for us. What is that about? How they always got money to fund wars, but don't got money for the infrastructure of America, or the homeless of America, or the Aboriginal Negroes of America, to be able to combat poverty as well as crime, to make it safer in our country based off of what money we do have to send to all the other countries. Why they don't utilize that money for right here in America? Not to mention, you got State Department officials right now resigning based off of the crimes against humanity that's happening to the Palestinians that they don't want to talk about, based off of what's really going on and what Israel really doing to the Palestinians. Even talking like this, they want to label you anti-Semitic. But what do that got to do with anything when it comes to justice and truth? This is the problem with the so-called Israelis, and I do mean so-called very strongly. Because at the end of the day, life is life, and all life is precious. And for them to think that they're above that reality, there got to be something wrong with them as a whole. That's just what it is. Because at the end of the day, we're funding them to do that through our tax dollars. The same tax dollars that we can't get to fix up our communities. The same tax dollars that we can't get to strengthen the country that we're supposed to be citizens in right now. How did that work? How do we, the citizens of America, and our tax dollars don't go to American citizens, but they go to everywhere else? But yet still, we got to pay these taxes, and we got to follow these rules and regulations of these so-called appointed representatives and elite and wealthy folks who don't listen to we the people from nowhere. How do that make you feel, white folks? What is that about? And what is the course of action? Because see, I know that the Constitution told me, we the people, when the government get radical against the people, it's something that we supposed to do as the people. But see, they keep us so divided with all this nonsense on TV and all this nonsense through the actors and entertainers and celebrities and all this different so-called amusement from these people, to where we are not really thinking about what's really going on behind the scenes. Because that's all they're there for. They'll give you all the basketball, football, baseball, singers, actors, dancers, you name it. As long as you ain't thinking about what they're doing as the elite when it comes to destroying our way of life as we the people, the American citizens, and the world citizens as that. So we definitely got to get on board and understand that the government has went rogue. Because if the government ain't listening to we the people, then what is the use of the government? What do you need them for? This is the reality. But hey, we still talking about a government who won't show justice to the Aboriginal Negroes of America, that they did their own crimes against humanity too. That they did their own slaughtering and massacre and holocausting too. They won't give justice to them. So why should we even think that the United States and the federal government would give us any type of real reality other than corruption and criminals that's controlling the country. Because that's pretty much the norm in America. And you just turn a blind eye as long as not your nation being criminalized, right? Well, guess what, guys? It ain't just the Aboriginal Negroes that's going through it anymore. They're robbing all of us. They're looking to keep us all in bondage, paying high wages for the cost of living, high wages to be able to survive in the country. At the same time, they raping us for all the money that they could possibly take from us. Literally. But if you don't care, as we the people, then you might just say, let's all just go line up at the prisons departments and throw shackles on and become their puppets and slaves all over again. Because that's where we're headed. Because that's exactly where we're headed. If we're not willing to challenge the narrative of what the government, wealthy and rich, are doing to the country and to us as the citizens. Because that's where it lies at. We are the ones who appointed them. They didn't appoint us. And if they're not willing to listen to us as we the people, then there's a problem. Like one person said, how could 77 million people follow just about 1,100? Be dominated by about just 1,100 people. And they're not smart people. They're far from smart, these so-called leaders, these so-called wealthy people, these so-called appointed representatives. They just so far from smart, it's ridiculous. Well, when it comes to corruption, when it comes to greed, when it comes to lies, they're the most highly intelligent on the planet. But you take away that, they're the most dumbest on the planet. This is why the planet is dying. This is why the animals are dying. The fish are dying. The water that we're supposed to drink is all polluted. The air is all polluted. It's on their watch. They're running around saying they're intelligent, but they ain't intelligent. They're intelligent enough to lie to you and I and steal everything that we supposed to have for us as the citizens and utilize it amongst themselves to get them plush lives as we struggle every single day to the cost of living that they control. Go figure. Well, with that, it's just the reality. And it's a wake-up call to let you know that your government don't care about you. These wealthy and rich people don't care about you. And they don't care about your votes either. All they want you to play the game to keep them in power so that way they can continue to manipulate you as well as your babies to come. So that way you stay in the position that you in of struggling and never ever making ends meet while they live happily walking with the bank, from the bank, off the bank, and above the bank as they raking all the dough, eating well on your behalf. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.